So you've received an invite for an interview and you're like, now what? So interviews might be a bit daunting, especially coming to Cambridge and sort of figuring everything out in a sort of unfamiliar environment. So first thing, arrivals. So like try to be early. So book the flight so so that you come a day in advance. You can stay and settle in before you have an interview. That's what I did. I stayed in college for actually 3 days in total, so one day before and one day after. And the interview process is just really tiring, so it's good if you get here day before and just so if you can, if the college provides accommodation for that. And traveling to Cambridge, just work out how you're going to do it. Are you doing it by train, car, or coach, or your parents driving you? So then just plan it well so that it's not a last minute decision. You make sure you buy your tickets well in advance so that they're not all booked out. And another thing is just meals. Does your college provide meals? Magdalen provides meals for interviewees, so I took advantage of that and just had 6 meals, and it was really nice. And you get to socialize and to meet people who are also going through the same thing. So you all know that you're going through the same process and you're all nervous, but you have someone to talk to and just talk about like your motivation or just someone to cheer you up. And just one thing is that if you do get accommodation from your college for an interview, your parents can't stay or your friends family can't stay in the college, but you can. And I personally think that that's the better solution. So if your parents really want to come and support you, they stay outside in a hotel and then or some sort of Airbnb or whatever, and then you stay within the college. I know that might seem scary, but I just came alone and stayed here alone. But the reason why I said that is because I think that if you have sort of a space, so someone's here to support you, but they're not constantly there to like make you feel nervous, and you have like your own sort of time to relax and go through everything or just think through everything and make sure your mind is clear. And I think that would be really helpful for an interview. And it's up to you. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own way of doing things, and that's just like a suggestion I have. So student helpers. So most colleges have student helpers that help out with the interviews. So for instance, this year I'm helping out with interviews, and as a student helper, you're basically briefed to make the interviews feel as comfortable as possible. We have biscuits, cakes, tea in our JCR and junior combination room, and we basically talk to people and make them feel comfortable, have meals with them, show them their rooms, or sort of show them around college. And don't be shy, just if you have any questions, ask, because if you get lost, like, just makes yourself more stressed. And there's no shame, everyone's new to the place, so the helpers are here to help, so that's the point. And also just make sure you get enough sleep and relax and wind down, and probably can't sleep if you didn't have a long journey. So I had a long plane journey here, so and a coach for like 3 hour coach ride. So by the time I got here, I was really, really tired, and I just fell asleep like straight away. But I've heard people told me that they couldn't fall asleep the night before. They're really stressed, and then they had too much coffee for the interviews. So lots of problems. So just relax, and there's nothing you could do to like sort of cram in, like you can't cram in books to suddenly add to your knowledge. You know everything you need to know, so just get some sleep and make sure you're all relaxed and prepared, and have big breakfast. Well, not make yourself too full, but stay healthy and just get lots of sleep, and that's the most important thing. So there's also a quiet room where you can study in most colleges for your interview. So at my college, we go to Parlour, and there's this quiet room and the JCI, so you can choose if you want to talk to people or if you want to just sit there and read a book or revise or whatever. And it's your choice. Both work, and you just choose what's best for you. And so the reason why there's a quiet room is basically because you might have to collect material from the admissions office like 15-30 minutes before your interview. So just make sure you find out if you need to read anything in advance for your interview, and be prepared and go to where you're supposed to be a lot earlier than you're supposed to, so just in case, because it's not really nice for the interviews to like be late for your interview, because that's really embarrassing. And the day is really short, so there's lots and lots of interviews that the interviews have to get through, and each interview is approximately 30 minutes, so time's ticking, and just don't waste your time and it'll be all good. And one thing I want to talk about is the dress code. So there is no dress code whatsoever. You will see people in suits, you will see people in pink scarves, polka dots. I just want to show you what I personally wore. So I just wore a sort of normal Swiss mountain with trees, sort of artsy little jumper that's grey. A bit boring, but I find it cute. But yeah, and that was on top of sort of a dress shirt, and just to try to make it a bit more formal, so it looks like I was a bit serious, but I also want to feel comfortable, so I didn't want to feel like sort of itching in my suit or like sliding around, or so don't wear like mini skirts or whatever, like don't wear anything really revealing or distracting, but generally there's not really a sort of proper dress code. You don't have to wear a suit. Most people don't really wear suits, but if suits are your thing, if suits make you feel confident, go for it, because that's also good for your confidence boost. But I just felt comfortable in this jumper, and I thought it was a good idea, so I did it, and there's nothing wrong with it, and just go for what you want. And yeah, so now I'm going to talk about what happens after an interview. So the first option is you get an offer, and that's yay, yay, yay. And you either get an unconditional if you haven't sort of finished if you have finished your studies, and normally it's a conditional if you haven't, just to make sure you keep on working. And if you don't get an immediate offer, you might possibly get put into the intercollegiate winter pool, which is basically how a college says, I want you, but I don't have enough places, so I'm just going to put you in the pool. Or sometimes colleges put you in the pool just to see if people want to compete for you, like colleges want you, are you sort of a desirable applicant, and they sort of play with you. So sometimes the same college who puts you in the pool can fish you out. So fishing you out is basically meaning they take you out of the pool to give you an offer. So then you could apply to Christ and then get into Jesus. I don't know, apply to Pembroke, get into John's or whatever, and that's how the pool works. So it's basically to try and maintain sort of standards, so that if 10 really, really, really good applicants apply to this college, and then only one applies to the other one, some of them get pulled over to the other one, so all the colleges get an equal chance for sort of good applicants. And other thing is, then there's also something called the summer pool, which is basically when you don't meet your offer and you get put into summer pool, and colleges then choose like which people didn't meet their offer should we give an offer to. and that doesn't necessarily always happen, but sometimes it does, so that's something to bear in mind. And last thing is, if your application is unsuccessful, it's okay. You've come very, very far to get an interview, and you've done well. You've tried your best, so there's nothing else you can do. And I'm sure you go to a very, very good university anyways, because if you apply to Cambridge, I'm sure you get really good grades. And don't sort of be like mad at yourself for it, because really half of the process is by luck, and if it doesn't really work out for you, there are other places which might be more suitable, so don't worry about that. And generally just, yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful. If you guys would like any more this sort of videos in the future, please subscribe, and tell me in the comments below what you liked or didn't like about this sort of short little interview series, and I'll see you later. Bye guys.